Hi, my name's Rosa. This week I wanted to give you an update of how I was doing on my journey to health, what my sparks of inspiration are that I worked on this last week, and also update you on what my sparks of inspiration are this week to move forward. So, last couple of weeks, I recognized that I needed to start exercising. And my exercise of choice at this point, at the physical state that I feel like is walking. It's something that I enjoy. It's something that I like to get out and see nature and to be in nature. And it's also something that just felt like the easiest thing to start with. So at this point, it's probably been about 2 weeks that I've been walking every day intentionally. I don't have any set amount that I'm walking at this point. I didn't start off that way. I just wanted to get out there and have a walk. The first week, I would say that it felt very physically challenging. I learned a lot of things about what I needed to move forward to make it a little easier for myself. Specifically, I needed to wear cooler clothing. I needed to wear shoes that were more comfortable for walking. I've addressed that somewhat. And then about the middle of last week, I recognized that I was able to move a little faster. It just didn't feel as hard. And at this point, I just feel like I have a pep in my step is kind of the way I would describe it. And super happy to be at that point. What I wanted to mention though, is I didn't know that I would reach this point at so soon. I've been semi-regularly walking the last year, and I can't actually think of a single time in the last year until a week ago where it actually felt physically easy to walk. There were days that were harder and days that were easier than others, but for the most part, I just kind of felt like a slug walking along. This last week, I'm a little more, I'm probably not quite up to the rabbit level, but definitely faster than a slug at this point. And I'm just really appreciating that part of my journey. This is actually where I wanted to get to really just enjoy exercise, and it's just the beginning of this. Looking back, when I have started exercise programs in the past, I have gone from complete inactivity to exercising every day a couple of times in my life. And what I do recognize is that I was able to ramp up fairly quickly in ability. Like I could go barely a few minutes on elliptical, and then within a few weeks being able to go an hour. So I wasn't sure what it would be like at this point in my life, but I'm really pleased with that progress. And so that brings me to my first spark of inspiration for this week. The thought occurred to me earlier this week that I can amp it up. I didn't have a set amount that I was walking. It was just, my goal was just get out there, start. Same with some of my earlier goals in this whole journey. It's just get the process started. Food wise, my first goal was just eat 4 cups of produce a day. That has really helped. It helps me to fill up on good food. It's helped to reduce cravings for foods that aren't as good for me. And walking, just starting it, my first goal was walk a mile a day. And by walk a mile a day, I mean a mile a day on my pedometer, not a walk that is a mile a day in addition to the normal walking. That's a really low goal, and I know it's a low goal. And but I wanted to set myself up so I didn't feel bad when I didn't reach a high goal. I knew that I would probably exceed it most days, and I do exceed it most days, even before I got the impression or the spark that I should amp it up. I was probably at about 1.5 to 2 miles every day normally. But at this point, I've gone 5 days over 3 miles, and I'm pretty happy with it. And I think that it's sustainable for me at this week. So at this point, that's my new goal, is 3 miles a day or more. And we'll see where I get on that. So another thing that I wanted to mention, last week I noted that the clothes I was wearing really made a difference in how I felt. Having cool clothes or clothes that I feel cool in makes a big difference. This week I noticed mosquitoes a lot more, so that's probably the next step, is to use mosquito repellent. They're relentless this year. We've had a lot of rain, and even though we haven't had a lot of rain recently, the mosquitoes are just in full force. The other thing I noticed is the shoes that I have been using make a big difference. I bought some new shoes for my walking effort, and they just don't work for me. They feel hard, they feel clunky, they feel heavy. So I've gone back to some very worn out walking shoes that I bought last year. The problem is those shoes are out of stock, or they've quit making them. I have not been able to find them. I did order a pair a couple months ago from a sketchy website. I don't even remember where I ordered them. But it said it would be delivered in mid-September. That's come and gone. I did get an email a little while ago that said it would be delivered in mid-October. So I guess time will tell whether I actually get that pair or not. Otherwise, I'm on the lookout for new shoes. So that's one of my sparks this week, is to go assess my shoe situation. I have a closet with a lot of shoes. I'm not even sure what I have at this point, what state they're in, what's comfortable to walk in, what still has wear left in them. So that's one of my sparks this week, is just to work on my shoe situation and figure out a good solution to having good, reliable walking shoes for me. I wanted to mention, I have for many years used running shoes for walking. And last year I found a pair of walking shoes I bought intentionally for walking, and that made a big difference to me, much more comfortable to me. So I am looking specifically for walking shoes if I end up purchasing in the future. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is managing stress. So I mentioned last week that I was entering a time frame where I knew that I was going to be under a lot of added stress. And I'm in the middle of that right now. And it's going okay. So one of the things that I wanted to mention is that in addition to the stressful situation that I anticipated, I've had a couple of unexpected hurdles thrown at me. Most of them have been in the form of time suckers that just took extra time that I didn't have. But what I wanted to mention, some of the things I've learned, is that as I've approached the stressful situation or the hurdles that I've had with an attitude of, this is a problem that I have to solve, and I have the resources available to solve this problem, that has made a big difference. I know that I have the help available to me. I know that I can ask a lot of people. I know that I can ask the Lord for help. And when I've done that, He has given me time, and I have felt that time. And when I've approached the situations with, this is a problem to be solved, I found that they've been easier. I found that I felt better. I got them done. And certainly that I recognize the Lord's hand in helping me get them done. And for that, I'm super grateful. I would say that has not always been my approach. There have been many times where I've wanted to just commiserate in the problem, just want somebody else to solve it for me, just wanted to complain about it, didn't really see how I was going to get it done, and approaching it as, I can figure this out, has just made a really big difference. Some of the things that I have noticed still that I can work on is I'm still overpacking my schedule. One of the things that has been big for us is sleep. So I'm noticing that because I'm overpacking my schedule, I'm getting my son to bed an hour late. And then we're needing to get up a little bit earlier than normal, just to help in our situation right now and get us all where we need to be on time. And what that's resulted in is by Friday of last week, nobody was happy when we woke up in the morning. And so I'm making an effort, and that's really my next spark of inspiration, is get to bed an hour earlier. So last night was my first attempt. We started earlier. We had some more hurdles that were unexpected. And the end result was we got to bed on time, not an hour earlier, but we got to bed on time, which is better than an hour late. And this morning we were still happy when we got up, and we all woke up on time and in a good mood. Another spark that came to me is, if possible, to leave work early. And by early, I mean on time. I'm not usually I usually don't do that. I usually work until I need to, until I feel like I've tackled enough of my day. Here's the thing, there will always, always, always be work. And I'm learning that. And there's some things that have to be done that day, and there's some things that it won't hurt anything to wait till tomorrow. And I'm not very good at prioritizing that. And so I'm going to try to do better on that this week. And just, if I can let it be, I'm going to walk away at the end of the day rather than stay later to try to get it done. I just don't have time in my evenings to try to do that another way at this point. So I know that if there's things that I need to address, I'll stay and address them, but otherwise I'm gonna try to walk away at a decent hour. Some other things that I can do is I can get walks done earlier in the day. I can pack my lunch the night before. Yesterday I meal prepped. I prepped 2 weeks worth of food. That's really gonna help me. I did buy salad 3 times. I talked about last week that I bought salad 4 times. I didn't do it 4 times, I only bought it 3. But super appreciative that I had that option to have food for me when I needed it, that I didn't really have time to prepare for myself. And then I need to keep, asking the Lord for help, because I know that He will give it to me as I ask for it and as I express the need for it and ask for help to tackle this challenge. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to talk about is making better choices, even when it may not be the traditional best choice. And what I'm finding is that as I approach things with this in mind, that I'm having more peace with it for myself, and I'm really happy with those decisions that I've made. So most of the time what I'm finding is this is occurring while I'm traveling. I seem to have been on the road a lot lately, and I've had to make a lot of choices. One of these choices that I recognize is hydration. I'm somebody that when I'm not well hydrated, some of the things that I recognize are my feet swell and I get a headache. Well, when I'm traveling, there is almost nothing worse to me than not having a restroom available when I need it. And so when I'm traveling, I have made the conscious decision to hydrate less. And many times that results in feet that are a little more swollen than I wish they would be, or maybe a headache. But to me, that's a better choice than an emergency and pure terror of not having a restroom available when I need it. And so what I'm doing is looking for opportunities to hydrate when I can. That's usually the evening. And then walking around whenever I can. If we stop at a rest stop or if we stop to get gas, it's getting up, walking around, getting some blood flowing. That really helps me. Some of the other things that I've recognized is that healthy food is really hard to come by on the road. It is possible to pack it. We did that a couple weeks back. Well, end of the summer, we went on a long trip. We packed a lot of good food. We ate a lot of good food for us. We ate a lot of carrot sticks. We ate a lot of peanut butter sandwiches on whole wheat bread. We ate cottage cheese and watermelon. Eventually, we ran out of food and we got tired of it. Carrot sticks are really hard to eat day after day after day after day. And so what I've recognized is I need to make adjustments to what my ideal is and what my ideal is while traveling. Some of the things that have really helped me is is bringing breakfast with me. I found that it's really hard to buy a breakfast on the road that makes me feel good. But if I pack a banana and a peanut butter sandwich and bring it with me, one, it's faster and easier than eating on the road, cheaper, and it makes me feel good, and it fills me up for the rest until I need lunch. Some of the other choices I've made is splitting meals, or recognizing that I don't need as much as maybe I might have eaten it another time. One of my favorite places to eat in Tucson is Zinburger. A couple of months ago, it's probably a couple weeks ago, my family and I went, and I recognized I only ate half a hamburger and brought the rest home with me. This time when we went last week, I asked my husband ahead of time if he wanted to split a burger, and we did that. We each ate half a burger, and we ate zucchini fries. That's my favorite thing to eat at Zinburger, by the way. And we ate some sweet potato fries. But I walked out of there perfectly satisfied, not stuffed, just feeling really good. No, it wasn't an ideal meal in every sense of the word, but it was a better choice than I would have made before. And it was really what I thought was the best choice for me at that time. Another example, Chick-fil-A. I really, really love frosted lemonade. I found that it's totally possible for my family to share one. I don't need one myself. All I want is a taste. My son doesn't drink a whole one. My husband doesn't drink a whole one. We can share a frosted lemonade between the three of us. And so we went this weekend, we went to Chick-fil-A, and that's what I did, is I ordered one frosted lemonade. I drank some, my son drank some, we were all good, and that's all I needed. Again, frosted lemonade, probably not the best choice, but drinking a portion of it is a better choice than drinking the whole thing. And I'm really pleased with that, that result. Another one, and this one was a little harder for me, but I went out to eat with some family members this weekend, and I got an enchilada plate, and I was not near home, so packing up some of it and taking it home really wasn't an option. And I got full before I finished, and that enchiladas was delicious, but I was full, and I just knew that taking it home wasn't realistic. It killed me to walk away from that enchiladas, but I was really full, and I was uncomfortable. I knew that if I ate anymore, I'd be really uncomfortable. So mentally, it was really hard for me to step away from. But I did it, and I was really glad that I did. But that was another example of a better choice for me. Yes, maybe it was possible for me to eat a salad, but I just didn't feel like it. I just didn't want it. I wanted enchiladas, and I wanted the amount that I ate. And so I was really happy with that decision. So I guess that's what I want to share, is like, ultimately, I was really happy with making these better choices that may not have been the traditional best choices. Last thing I want to talk about is a few months ago, I read this statement. The most important decision you'll ever make is to be in a good mood. And I just happened to read that at the right time in my life. That's something I've thought of multiple times a day since then. But what this decision, or what this statement has meant to me, is I've recognized just how much better my day is when I approach life with that frame of mind. I have had days where I have talked myself up from just where things were really rough, or where I started off in a bad mood. I can remember one particular morning I woke up just thinking ahead of everything I had in front of me, all the challenges. And I felt the weight of those challenges. And I looked in that mirror and I thought, you know what, you have a choice to be in a good mood. And I literally talked myself into it right there. And you know what, the challenges didn't go away, but I didn't really feel the weight of those challenges because I approached them in a good mood and in a much better attitude. And so I guess I wanted to share that. And with that, I know that I can order up the kind of day that I want, and I know that I can order up the kind of life that I want, and I'm trying to do that with this health challenge. And thank you all for your support, and I love you all. Thank you. Bye.